my channel. For today's video, I wanted to do something really bright and fun and colorful, so I did this really full glam kind of turquoise look. I haven't really been doing anything with a lot of color recently, so I was super stoked to do this one. Yeah, I hope you guys like it as much as I do. So let's get into it. Alright, so for the sake of the video, I'm only going to be doing my left eye. I already did my right eye. It's not entirely done, but I'll finish it up all together. I also kind of did my brow just so I could get a better idea of like what the finished product was going to look like. But to start off, I'm going to go ahead with my Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer and just apply that to my eyelid. Right, and then I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I am almost out of both of these. I've been almost out of these for so long. I've had these for an unbelievably long time, but we're gonna see what we can scrape out of this just to give us, I like, these ones have such a like matte, like white base. I mean, obviously I'm using like the lightest shades, but I really like them as like an even base for eyeshadow. Just gonna put some of that on there. And then just blend that out with a beauty blender. All right, so to set that, I'm just gonna take my Bobel brush in C8. And this is my Coastal Scents palette. They're all just single shadows. And I'm just gonna take this just plain matte white shade here in the corner and set that concealer. Alright, so going in with our first colors, I'm going to be taking my Morphe E22 brush. It's just a big fluffy blending brush. And I'm going to take a combination of these two. They're really similar, but these two little kind of light turquoisey shades. And we're just going to buff that all through the crease and just blend that out really smoothly because that's going to be our first like transition shade. And I'm just blowing it quite far out towards the outer corner of my eye. Alright, so next, sticking with the same brush, I'm going to take, again, all of these shades are very similar. I'm going to go for this kind of middle. It's the lightest of these three. They look really green on camera, but they're a bit more of a turquoise shade. And I'm just going to take, yeah, a combination of like that one and that one a little bit, and just blend that into the same general area as the lighter turquoise shade, but you're just going to focus it a little bit more confined to the crease rather than blowing that out towards the brow more. Alright, so switching to a slightly smaller brush, I'm going to be grabbing this Inspire brush, the 282 Eye Fluff. It's just a little bit more of a kind of pointed brush. I'm going to take this same kind of turquoisey shade that we were just using, as well as a bit of this deeper sort of pine green color, and I'm just going to focus that really in through the crease. And then I'm going to switch back to my E22 brush for a second and just give that a nice blend. And then taking that same deep green color, this guy here, and the small brush, I'm just going to really focus that on the outer corner of the eye. Because we are doing a pretty large wing with this one, I don't really bother taking it super, super low because it's going to get covered up by the eyeliner anyways. So I usually try to focus the darkest, deepest point of my eye of the eyeshadow a little bit higher up than the actual outer corner of my eye. If that makes sense. Alright, so now that we've got those kind of base deep shades in place, we're gonna go ahead and cut the crease. I'm gonna do that using this little flat concealer brush. This is just from Glow, it's a little Amazon set. And then we're gonna be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer again, to lay out that base for the shadows that are going to be going on the lid. And even though we are going to be covering up the line that we're cutting out right now with eyeshadow later, I do still like to trace the outline of the cut crease out to the furthest corner of my eye, just so that I can kind of keep the proportions a little bit better. So that I have a really good visual of where the line of the cut crease is going. I don't think any of that made sense, but you guys can watch. Right, so with the cut crease all done, I'm gonna go ahead with this little kind of flat but sort of fluffy brush. I don't really know. It's just a Quo brush it's called their shader brush. And I'm gonna take, switching over to my Anastasia Beverly Hills X Nicole Guerriero palette. Guerriero, I mess this up every single time. I'm gonna take the shade Forever Lit, and I'm gonna put that in the innermost corner of my eyelid. Right after that, I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to my Coastal Scents palette, and I'm gonna take this shimmery turquoisey blue shade, and I'm gonna pack that on from about halfway, like not quite halfway, like 3/4 of the way in across my eyelid towards the outer corner. Right, and then switching back over to the Inspire 282 Eye Fluff brush, I'm gonna take that foresty green color again, and start that from the outer corner and just kind of work it in a little bit up onto the eyelid. And just to blend that in, one with the outer corner of the shadow shades that we put down before, and two, just add a little bit more depth into that outer corner of the eye. And then I'm just gonna go in with some of those deep sort of turquoise shades again, just to help with that transition and that blend between the two, between the cut crease and the shading we did before. Right, and then just to kind of sharpen things up a little bit, I'm gonna go back in again with that forest green color. This time I'm just gonna be taking this thin little angled brush, and I'm just gonna kind of lightly trace along where I cut the crease there, just to, yeah, really sharpen that line and make it nice and crisp. This also adds some really nice like depth and dimension to the eyeshadow as well. All right, and that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow. We're gonna come back to doing the lower lash line afterwards, but I'm gonna go ahead and just do my winged liner really quick, and I'll be right back. All right, so we've got some eyeliner happening. It's pretty thick, she's thick. But I'm gonna go ahead and just clean up the eyeshadow underneath it with some concealer, just this little flat concealer brush. I'm just gonna use the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer, just to clean up under there, and then we'll do some eyeshadow on the lower lash line. All right, so now that I've got that eyeliner all cleaned up, I'm just gonna go ahead and take that same little angled brush that I was using earlier, and I'm gonna take pretty much the same shades that we were using when doing the rest of the eyeshadow. So we're gonna start with the light turquoise shades and blend those ones out the furthest, and then we're gonna take the darker turquoise and green shades and keep those closest to the lash line. So I'm gonna start with the lighter turquoise shade. And it's kind of up to you how far across your eye you take the eyeshadow. I personally don't like taking it all the way to the inner corner. I feel like it closes off my eyes a lot. So I usually take it about 3/4 of the way in towards the inner corner. It also kind of depends on what color you're using, but yeah, so I'm gonna take the lightest shade and take it a little bit further than I would the rest of them, but still not all the way across. And then I'm gonna go in with the darker turquoisey shades, and put those in the same spot. And then last but not least, I'm gonna take that sort of foresty green color and put that in the outermost corner of the eye. Right, so with that eyeshadow on the lower lash line in place, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some mascara. I'm gonna be using my Face Stockholm Lash Booster Mascara, and then I'm gonna put my falsies on. I'm gonna be wearing my Koko lashes in the style Venus. So I will be right back. Right, so I've got my lashes on, got my mascara on. We're gonna go ahead and do my face now. I'm going to prime my face with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. And that's that. Alright, so for my foundation, I'm going to be using my The Ordinary Coverage Foundation. This is their high coverage one, and I'm in the shade 2N, which is light, medium, neutral. I'm just going to buff that out with a beauty blender. Alright, I know my lighting has gotten a little bit weird now. It got dark outside, so. Right, so with my foundation all done, I'm gonna go ahead and do my concealer. I'm gonna be using my Clove and Hallow concealer in the shade 1. Just gonna apply that. And I'm gonna buff that out with Beauty Blender. Alright, and to set that, I'm gonna be using my RCMA No Color Powder and my Morphe M433, I think that's what this one is. And I'm gonna set my under eyes first and then do the rest of my face just using a big kabuki brush. Right, so with my face all set, I'm gonna go ahead and do my bronzer. I'm gonna be using my Face Stockholm bronzer in the shade Marseille. And I'm going to be using my Bobel brushes in B4. Right, so with my bronzer done, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Love Flush blush in the shade Love Hangover, and my Bobel brushes in B6. I'm just doing a little touch of blush, because we have a lot of color going on in the eyes. Don't want a ton of color going on the face, you know. Right, so next I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose. I'm going to be using the C8 brush from Bobel brushes. And my Tarte Pro Glow to Go palette, which is on its very last legs, but still making it work. Alright, so as it turns out, my card was full and I was filming for quite a while without it actually recording. So I contoured my nose, I just cleaned up the sides with my Fit Me pressed powder. You guys have seen me do it in other videos, but I will try and remember to link another one of them below so you guys can see the process. I also did my highlighter while I wasn't filming. I was using the shade Forever Lit from the Anastasia and Nicole palette. I just did that on my Cupid's bow, cheekbones, that's about it, down my nose. So yeah, let's get some eyebrows done. I sort of half did this one before, but we're gonna fix it up because it kind of disappeared. I'm gonna be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Ebony, as well as their angled brush. I believe this is the 14. Yeah, this is the number 14. Again, you guys have seen me do my brows before as well, but I will leave a link in the description below to the previous video that I posted. In that video, I showed how to do my brows, my liner, my freckles, my nose contouring, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, description below with the link. That being said, I'm gonna do my brows and I will be right back. Right, so I've got my brows all done. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of highlighter right under the arches. And then we're just gonna put some lip product on, and that's the whole thing. So for highlighter, I'm just gonna be using the same Forever Lit shade from the Anastasia and Nicole palette. And I'm just gonna be applying that with this little kind of flat, fluffy brush. Okay, so for lip product, I normally would have gone with like a very, very light kind of pinky nude matte shade, but I don't have all of my products with me. Right now, all I have is some lip plumper and some gloss, so that's what we're gonna put on. But yeah, I think I normally would have gone with a matte shade for this one, but we're just gonna make this work. So I'm gonna be using the No Thin Lip Secret Lip Plumper first, just to plump these puppies up. And I'm gonna top that with the Lancome Juicy Tubes Ultra Shiny Lip Gloss in the shade Simmer. That was hard to say, shade Simmer. All right, that is the completed look. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I haven't touched any colors at all in so long. Like I don't know, recently anything that I wear like out of the house just on like a day-to-day basis, I've really just been wanting to stick to like neutral colors. I still do love working with bright colors, but just like not in my like daily makeup routine. So this is always really fun to be able to do some really bright stuff like this. If you guys did enjoy it, please leave it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Just to kind of crispen, is that a word? No. Then put some eye,